This episode brought to you by Twitchcon 2016.
We good?
We're going? We're going.
Coming up on the show, we have a very special leaderboard update. World Championship hype comes to a head, and we're talking about TwitchCon 2016. All that and more starts right now. We're bucking around. Please help us. Live on Twitch.
Thought you were going for the cheers there.
Comes to a head, though.
Welcome back to Buckin Around, everybody. It's going to be a very personal episode. We've got, we didn't have to make it weird, Mike. We're just roll with it here.
A guy makes one sound, and all of a sudden he's an enemy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, guys, pleasure having you guys with us. I'm Callum, joined as always by Mike Colesworthy.
Oh, hello.
It's all about the weird with you today. Jess is over in the production blind in replacement of David this week.
I know.
What happened to David?
I don't know. He's dead.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh.
No, he's
That
at work.
escalated.
Whoa, okay.
And Jess Petro, our social media manager, and also my TwitchCon hype partner. Jess, how are you doing?
Good. I just have to say, Mike, coming to a head though, really, like, of all things you could have said, I mean, I was a little bit pimply, okay?
Pimply. I don't think I've ever heard something described
We're
as...
talking about World Championship hype, everybody. I think you can forgive me on that one. Come on.
Guys, last week on the show we had an awesome episode. George joined us for the Georgia-sode where we got to interview him and grill him with some community questions.
Yeah.
This week we are going to be doing a whole bunch of World Championship hype. And speaking of World Championship hype, I think you know what time it is, Mike.
No.
No? Okay, well...
I don't know. My watch is gone. I've got no watch.
I don't want to take this from you, though.
Oh! It's leaderboard update time!
I like that
Leaderboard
somewhat
update.
motivational. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, whoop. All right, Mike, do you want to play or do you want to do the leaderboards this week?
You'll
play?
We'll
We'll
talk about it.
we'll do it all.
It'll be a team effort here, yeah.
Ooh, team effort. There you
Yeah.
go. Teamwork
yeah.
makes the dream work.
Right now.
Am I good in camera here, Jess? I know
You
we've
are.
got some moving going on. All right, guys, let's take a look at those American skill-based players while Mike is booting up the game. Let me know when we're good with a good old thumbs up. And we're good. All right. Now, we've had a lot of action moving on this World Championship. I know, obviously, the leaderboard is done and over. The qualifiers are done and over.
Yeah. First of all, I think we need to give congrats to everybody whose name is about to be called. You guys did an amazing job this year. We had crazy turnouts. Just incredible.
And for those of you whose name we don't call, also congratulations if you made it into the qualifiers. And if you didn't manage to make it into the World Championship, better luck next year. It's been a pleasure having you guys, but don't think you're out of the action yet. You can tune in all weekend on twitch.tv/BigBuckHD. Join us on the stream. It's going to be incredible. And if you're in Austin, Texas, make sure you join us at the venue where it's even going to be even better.
That's right.
For the party itself.
After we get through these initial names, we'll have some messages about check-in and things like that. But
Let's
without
just jump
further
into
ado,
it.
yeah, let's find out who's coming to this thing.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I guess second most. Congratulations, Trevor Gardner, for securing that #1 seed going into the World Championship. We addressed the fact multiple times throughout the last 25 episodes that Trevor Gardner is lurking somewhere and he's probably going to come out guns blazing. And what do you know? Here he is, joining in the last few weeks of qualifiers, taking that #1 spot from Ryan Hodgson, who holds the #2 seed. Not a bad place to be.
Yeah, but I feel,
Blah, 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 blah.
start that one over, this time in English. Both of these players have really made a statement this year. I think that we would expect these guys to get very far on the World Championship stage.
Well, at the very least, I mean, Ryan Hodgson still hasn't budged, I think, out of the #1 spot on the rank play. We'll check into that soon. But, I mean, this whole bracket is incredible.
It is.
The leaderboards are going to be nuts this year. I cannot wait to see the action. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Joe Miller, #3. Nate Boyer, #4. Now, that's 2 other Scotty snipers, making 3 out of the top 4.
That is
Scotty
crazy.
snipers.
You guys are crazy. I don't know what kind of training you guys are doing, but I don't know. Teach me your secrets.
Moving down this list, we've got tons of other huge names. Matthew Garver, James Fish, Derek Tower, one of our previous world champions. Philip Bupre rounding out the top 10 with Kennington and Rogelio Anguiano, RJ Anguiano.
RJ.
Closing out the top 12. Lindsay Garver, Matthew Garver's wife, number 13. Now, of course, that's a Hometown Heroes.
That is crazy. You know, like, obviously we've got tons of very, very talented female hunters. Lindsay Garver, I feel like, is another player that's made a big statement this year. I think that she's been training hard, and clearly both her and Matt are hungry to take home a larger amount of money this year than they have in the past.
I mean, how could you not train hard when your husband and wife are two of the best hunters out there?
Both my husband and my wife?
Well, I mean, Matt's wife and Trevor's. Get out of here,
Oh
man.
my gosh, you could have wrapped.
Oh, I wasn't even paying. I was too busy making fun of you. I got
See?
killed.
All right, and I think my favorite story. Okay, I've got my favorite story of this leaderboard. I've got a couple favorite stories on these ones, but my favorite one on this one, and I'm going to let you talk about it because I know you know the player personally a little bit better than I do. Brenton Garrity
Oh my God.
is 19th. Now, tell me how the hell that happened.
So, if you're a fan of the show, which I know you are, you've been watching the leaderboard update for the past several weeks, and we've been talking about where's Brenton Garrity. Brenton Garrity not coming, you know. Turns out, I don't know if this was always part of his plan, but we found out that he was on a flight to the United States. I sent him a message and I said, you know what, tell me this trip that everyone's talking about is some kind of secret plan that ends in Austin. And he said, you know what, I just need help finding a good game. He hooked up with some of our buck hunters, and sure enough, in a day, Brenton Garrity qualified for the World Championship, not as a wild card, but as a skill-based player. I mean, that
Legendary.
absolutely legendary.
And that
Brenton
is the
Garrity
nature
brute
of the
forces
big
his
buck
way in.
community.
What's that, Jess?
That's the epic nature of the big buck community, right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's true, it's true.
Now, before I move off of this leaderboard, just to wrap it up, we've got Sarah Erlinson, Melinda Van Humison, and Alex Durho rounding out the bottom of this skill-based players.
This is a who's who of big buck.
Oh,
I mean,
it's gonna be
it's crazy.
it's gonna be incredible. I cannot wait. Before we,
Alex is another one who snuck in, like.
yeah, Durho's another one who
last
snuck in last minute. That's a good point.
Much to Jared Erlinson's dismay.
I can't even believe it.
So many stories.
Jared Erlinson just fails to get onto that top 24 that's required for the skill-based players, taking 25th place.
So close, so close.
So close.
I
And
think
you know
he
why?
secretly just wanted to be on the live stream desk with us.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's get real. He doesn't even want to play. He just
And
wants
it's because-
to entertain Twitch.
And it's all because Durho snuck in there and took that spot. But anyway, before I move into these wild cards, Mike, just want to say hey to everyone in the chat, Federico and Federico's mom. It's a pleasure to have you guys here with us. But even more so, Mike, we've got a lot of thanks and Thanks for getting engaged, Mike. A lot of congrats for getting engaged.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
I
to
really
Susie
appreciate
for
that.
taking him off the market.
What's that?
I said thanks goes to Susie for saying yes and taking
Right.
him off the market.
She made an honest man out of me. Yeah.
She did.
Yeah, that was the big thing that I've been gearing up for, and it happened last weekend, and just happy as can be.
And Brenton Garrity's actually watching. He says, cheers, Mike. Durho is clutch. Guys, everyone in the chat, it's going to be a pretty casual episode. We're going to be doing a lot of talking, so make sure you guys are talking to us in the chat. We're sure to be reading and interacting back and forth. So let's take a look at these wild cards. I know we're kind of slowly working our way through these. Now we got the wild cards on the.
This is our last leaderboard.
I know
This
we've
is
got
the
to we've got to
last
take our
one.
time. We got to hit the stories.
Yeah, we
know.
really got to talk about everything that's going on here. So, I mean, like I said last week, it's kind of bittersweet because all of this is, at least this chapter of the process is coming to an end. But now things get really, really exciting because we're going to be talking about who's taking home the championship now.
Yeah, well, I mean that, and we've got to figure out what the hell we're filling this first segment with.
Yeah, that's
I think that's the big one. Is what do we do next week, Mike?
I'm thinking Mike's Pottery Corner.
Ooh, okay, okay. Well, Mike Forrest might agree. Number one on the wild cards is Mike Forrest, and I don't know if he's going to be into a pottery corner, but Chris Burgess filling in that number 2 spot.
Nice.
Federico Reed, I know you're in the chat. Congratulations on taking that 5th wild card in your first ever World Championship.
Wow, yeah.
Beating out who I believe is one of your kind of big buck icons, Scott Van Humison.
Oh,
who
wow,
slips
yeah.
down 1 spot to 6th. Surely Scott isn't too upset with that. Scott's a veteran player. He's not too worried about where he places. But even more so, I'm pretty confident he'll be doing well. Jubilee is no longer on tour, and she is now just Jubilee Saranillo, and she's taken that 8th spot in the wild cards, while Andy Lynn takes number 10.
The Big Buck Ninja is back. That is a story every year.
So not only do we have Andy Lynn, we've got Alex Durho, Brenton Garrity,
Yep.
and Travis Pastrana taking 12th.
Travis Pastrana. Man, it's like homecoming.
It's like homecoming. Everyone
All my friends are here.
just feel like they belong.
Yeah.
Rick Doyle in number 13th, Michael Paulson 14th, Ori Clark in 15th, and we're going to scoot on down a little bit lower. Samantha Introyari in 17th. Steve St. Arnold, now that's another Nitro Circus if I'm not mistaken.
Right, come over Steve himself.
So Comb Over Steve is 19th, Travis Pastrana is 12th in the wild cards. I don't see Street Bike Tommy in here, but I'm sure he'll be there for the party.
I hope he comes anyway, yeah.
I was going to say Street
He
Bike
probably
Tommy's
gave it his best.
That goes
sure.
for anyone. I mean, Street Bike Tommy, I don't think he's got the qualifier numbers to qualify as an alternate. But remember, if you were just out of contention, there's still a chance.
That's right, and that's definitely something we're going to be talking about later in this episode, guys. So stay tuned if you are interested in a little more information on how you can still make it into the tournament if you're a wild card and didn't make that cutoff just a little bit short. But anyway, let's go down this list. Kylie Hodgson struggling a little bit, but taking 23rd. It's a little bit of an improvement than last time.
Yeah, hey.
I know it's not as high as I'm sure she would have hoped to place, but nonetheless, Kylie Hodgson, Ryan Hodgson's wife and hunting partner, is definitely on this board. Bradley Gartner is in 24th.
Brad Gardner.
Now, Gartner is the exact same last name
As the Yeti.
as the Yeti himself, Trevor Gartner. And I saw he posted the other day that his brother has qualified for the first World Championship ever.
That is very exciting.
So,
between that and Kylie Hodgson, I mean, Kylie Hodgson's obviously a veteran of this thing, but it's so awesome to see families and friends and stuff roll into
Coming
this.
on in.
Yeah, it's a nice thing.
And anyway, going down this list, let's wrap this one up. Danny Arbuckle in 30th. Bill Hulke, I know, who was going back to one of the first episodes of Buckin' Around, your favorite to win, I believe?
Yeah. I think that, he was kind of an unknown coming into the contest last year. I would expect that he makes a big play at it this year.
And Eric Schnitzer in 32nd, and Eric and everyone else down in Florida and on the East Coast, so I know a lot of our buck hunters are in the New York area and Boston and all that. Guys, be safe. Obviously, you got Hurricane Matthew coming through.
Yeah.
Thankfully, qualifiers are over, so you don't need to be leaving your house. So
Hunker
buckle
down,
up and
stay safe.
enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about rides, let's take a look at those Australian skill-based players and see who's going to be riding out to America.
Hey.
I'm on point with these
In
transitions
addition
today.
to Brenton.
In addition to Brenton, so we've got one Australian in Brenton Garrity, and we've got 4 Australians who've qualified through various means so far. We've got Courtney McLaughlin,
Yep.
Mark Santander,
Yeah.
Glenn Rattray,
Hey.
and Renee Brooks.
Nice.
Now, Glenn Rattray, I don't know if you remember this from last year, Mike, or earlier in the year, but this Glenn Rattray gentleman was completely out of nowhere and took the Australian scene by storm, and everyone was kind of like, who the hell is this guy?
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's this guy.
He's back.
That's him, and he's coming to the World Championship. So now is Glenn Rattray's time, above all else, to prove that he is the truest of buck hunters and ready to compete at the World Championship.
You know, Brenton is going to have something to say about this because for years, Brenton has been the Australian buck player,
Hey, well, time to defend your title, Brenton.
Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is, mate.
All right, and anyway, so on these Australian on the Australian skill players, Glenn Rattray is the one who made it through. The rest of these names, on the grand scheme of things, aren't too relevant anymore, but at the end of the day, Renee Brooks, Michael Hassler, Sally Potter, Kudu Hallis, all names who have been around on this leaderboard the entire time. We might as well just play another game.
Yeah,
we got time.
Why not?
We got time. So congratulations to all of you guys for putting up a hell of a fight. We can't wait to have you at the World Championship, watching online, organizing tournaments in your hometown, or even more so, competing next year and making it out and taking out one of these guys.
Absolutely.
So let's move over to those wild cards where we've got the other winner, Renee Brooks. Michael Hassler just short in both. Oof, that's gotta suck.
Hey, come anyway.
Come anyway.
Right?
It couldn't be too bad.
The more the merrier.
Now, I think the biggest thing about this leaderboard is the name I want to throw to. Sean Chadwick has become a legend on the Buckin' Around set for his clever creative names.
What's it this time?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
All right. Well, you know what?
Which is so fitting.
It's
so fitting. Well, I mean, not fitting in the sense that it's a massacre. It's fitting in the sense we're going to Texas, guys.
Yeah. And you know what? The time for funny names is very quickly coming to a close, so you're going to want to make sure
that's taken care of.
Well, you know what? He didn't get that Canadian spot, did he?
No.
Oh.
No, Sean Chadwick did not get the Canadian
Well,
spot.
you know what? Make all the nicknames you want then. I'm not going to stop you. But still
and
come.
Moving into the Canadian leaderboard, we've got Drew Baldock sitting on that #1 spot. I don't know if he's doing that tournament that he suggested he was going to do earlier in the episode. Drew, if you're in the chat, shine some light on that for me. But of course, Lauren Hope, #3, Brennan Dogger-Walk, #2. And I'm kind of reversing those two, but I think all 3 of them are going to be coming down. It's that, or maybe it's all Treso. But there's a group of Canadians coming down. We're excited to have you guys in Austin. You're going to love the barbecue, and you're going to love the tournament. Now, moving on to the ladies tournament, because I know I'm rambling here.
Hey, go ahead.
The ladies tournament has one of the best stories, I think, about the World Championship.
All right, let's hear it.
So short of Brenton coming out, short of Travis Pastrana and Nitro Circus qualifying, Jared Erlinson just missing that 24th spot. Melinda Van Humison managed to take the #1 seed from Sarah Erlinson
By how many points?
3 points
Oh!
in the last day. 3 points.
Ooh, that burns.
That has got to just spell rivalry, right? I mean, 3 points.
As if it wasn't there already. You know, like,
And of course, at the end of the day, to be the best, you've got to beat the best. You've got to be prepared to take on any of these incredibly skilled hunters. But that first seed can make a huge difference in who you're going up against throughout the tournament.
it's true. It's absolutely true.
So of course, Lindsay Garver rounding out that top 3, Samantha Inchari top 4, Jen Reese climbing to 5th, Kylie Hodson in 6th. Seriously, I'm trying to figure out how to frame this without you making fun of me, but I would hate to be a woman in
he'll
this
make fun of you
competition.
anyway.
This competition is so stacked, and just this leaderboard here is crazy. Now let's send it over to the wild card, and it's literally just a list of veteran players who I would be terrified to play against in the World Championship or the ladies tournament.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, being a lady aside, if I'm just my dumb guy self, I'm afraid to play these ladies.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough. We've got Emily Deese, Jacqueline Stafford, Alexis Murphy representing that New York crew real hard. Julia Wilmot out in LA, but always repping that New York crew. Erin Passon, Shirley Ann McMurtry in 7th, Rhonda Doyle, Audra Zettner. It's just so good.
It is a who's who once again. I mean, it's crazy.
And it was funny, I was actually talking to Joe. Joe removed about 100 gentlemen from the ladies tournament. Most importantly, our man, Tom Martin.
Tom Martin,
It's,
you put up a valiant effort.
is
but,
no longer in it. And
yeah,
you know
sorry,
what?
buddy.
The last leaderboard we're getting into is this global top 24. We're going to take a quick look at this before we get on to the rest of the show, where we hype up the World Championship. Not that it needs much hyping.
Once again.
Ryan Hosden taking that #1 spot, followed closely by the gang of Australians, Mark Santander, with the only break being #3 for the American Ben Wadsworth. Right after that, we've got Top Dog, Will Bromley, Chainshaw Massacre, Petron Brennan, Mark Coxell. I mean, it's most of the top 10 is Australian players these days.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know, you got to wonder if, you know, after World Championship season comes to a close, if people are going to start, you know, kind of changing things up on the ranked play boards. But I cannot say enough about the Australian players. I think the global top 24 has become their spot to sort of like plant a flag.
This is our flag.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Federico Reed representing the U.S. strong on this board. Of course, Patrick Heelan's on there with him. Omar Richmond. There's definitely a small smattering of American players, and they're making us proud, fighting for that, keeping it all from the AU. But
Here's
nonetheless, Australia, keep kicking ass and taking names, guys. You guys are killing it.
Yeah.
I think we're going to wrap it up on that. Jess, while we set back up, would you do me a favor and walk us through the buckshot of the week?
Yeah, I sure can. We have the buckshot of the week going out to the Erlinsons. They were troopers and came out to Twitchcon with us last weekend, and you know, it was the last day of qualifiers, a pretty crucial time to spend with us in San Diego. And obviously immediately after the PJ Saltan tournament, they headed straight to the nearest dive bar so Jared and Sarah could both play their hearts out and make it in those top qualifying spots. And I don't think they left San Diego until the job was done. Obviously, you know, Jared came in real close, but Sarah still made it on the top, so
Awesome
it was
stuff.
well worth it.
And we'll have an opportunity to check back in on the PJ Saltan tournament and everything that happened at TwitchCon in just a second. But real quickly, we want to move on to check-in stuff, right?
You want to do check-in first or World Championship hype first?
Well, you got to check in.
Let's do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just went over a bunch of names, obviously, of people who are now officially qualified to move on to the World Championship. Now, of course, the most important step of all is to check in. And a lot of our players have been on top of that. As soon as it opened, we had a flood of people coming in.
It's going.
Yeah.
I've been checking the list, and I mean, most of them are probably checked in already.
Yeah, yeah. That's entirely
Gotta stay
possible.
on top of it.
But if you're one of the outliers that, maybe this is your first year, maybe you're not familiar, check-in is absolutely crucial. Otherwise, this was all for naught.
So, Mike, how do I check in?
Well, it's very easy, Callum. I think we have a graphic for that, right, Jesse? Awesome. So, what you're seeing here is the 3 steps you need to check in. See if you can keep up.
Oh,
It's a little complicated.
a little anxious now.
Go to www.bigbuckhd.com/world or just .com. Either one of them will take you there right now. And look for the button that you're seeing on your screen right now. Hard to miss, flashy, check in now, very large on it. You want to click that. First step, step 1. Second step, follow the on-screen prompts through the check-in process. Please give us all the information we're asking for because this actually contributes to things that you will see at the event. The most important one possibly being your photo, because this is going to identify you to the public all around the venue.
Can I just add in something here?
Yeah.
Guys, with your photos, do us all a favor. Just give us a straightforward photo of your face, something that I shouldn't say something that can describe you. Just give us a photo of yourself.
Other people.
A selfie, a mugshot, whatever. Just make it alone. No other people, no
dogs, no
pets.
kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And
RJ.
not like the smallest picture in the world. Like,
Right.
An
Guys,
actual picture.
this is the photo that's going to represent you at the World Championship.
Yep.
It's going to be on the live stream, which of course last year had over 200,000 views. So it is important, and you guys will be hearing from me if your photo is not acceptable. I will reach out to you and tell you so. Just make my life easier, make Joe Seawick's life easier, and make your life easier. Just send us the best possible photo of yourself.
Yeah.
No emojis that resemble you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Just
that
your
some
face.
people define themselves as an abstract concept, but
Can't
RJ,
be interpreted, Mike.
RJ, I'm looking at you. We all love Snoop. You know we love Snoop, but you are not Snoop. Yeah, so get us a nice clear photo of yourself. The prompts should guide you through the entire process. And then step 3, give yourself an old pat on the back and a beer if you're 21/so inclined. So, I think that you deserve a little congratulating after all this. Obviously, we'll congratulate you when we get a chance to in Austin, but those are the steps. And then after you're checked in, Callum, do you want to take it from here?
I do just want to make one more point. You can
go for it,
continue.
go for it.
If you are an alternate for the World Championship, of course, continue and make sure you go on bigbuckhd.com and check in. That is incredibly important because there's still a very good chance that if you're one of the upper echelon of the alternates, you can still get into this tournament. We go through alternates every year of people who don't check in, travel plans, family plans, whatever it may be.
Things happen.
So check in, and on October 17th, after check-in is closed, I will be, and it ends on the 16th, just give me a day, I will be reaching out to alternates and personally contacting you to let you know in numerical order from top to bottom who's coming, who's not, can you make it?
How about that? An email from Callum himself.
But
Real fast, Sam wants to know if she can have Frankie in her pick.
As long
that's a good question.
Cute as
Sam,
she is, she's so cute.
Sam, I will check in with our QA and let you know. I can't imagine that's going to be a yes, just based on the fact that that's going to set some sort of a standard.
well,
But I'll let you know.
Maybe Frankie in the background.
I'll let you know.
yeah, as long as the primary focus is you and it's not just like the corner of your face, like smooching her or something.
Have someone hold her like behind you and to the left
There-
or something.
Just in the background, just she's here, like Lion King.
Yeah.
Sam, I'll let you know.
Also, White Tornado wants to know if he can use a picture of Mike.
That's
As
not,
much as I would love that, I don't
That would be
think.
false identity.
Yeah,
you could just have a
that's-
bunch of pictures of him anyway.
You know what? I already have a hard enough time with these guys wanting to be me, so it's.
Let's calm down now.
Hey.
Let's simmer down. But lastly, guys, for all of those checking in, if you are an alternate, you will not receive a check-in email confirming. So while you're checking in, just make sure that all of those percents go to 100% and you're good to go. And you don't need to worry about it. You will be checked in. If you do not receive a check-in email, that is simply just because we do not send those to alternates. Those are for our priority players. Once you are contacted as an alternate, you will receive all of that information.
Yep.
Cool. You can take it back away, Mike.
All right. So, after you follow these 3 steps, you'll be treated to a little present.
That's right.
Yeah, you're gonna watch your email, and then you're gonna get this this beautiful congratulations email.
He's only saying that because he made it.
Shut up. Yeah, so the congratulations email goes over a few things. Let's just go through it real quick. This is a handy, ready-to-print guide, so you can view this on your digital device, or, and I recommend this, actually print it out so that you can kind of keep it on you. Because the information on here is very valuable. You've got information about the venue, about the lodging, the full event schedule. That one is going to be very important, especially things like the player briefing before the tournament starts. You cannot miss that. Definitely mandatory.
And while you're on the topic of event hotels, I do believe the venue on Guadalupe, that's the one right across the street, the one on Guadalupe is sold out. So if you guys are looking at this stage of the game to get into a hotel, there is a second hotel listed on this graphic. It is the venue on 1st Street.
Yeah. So in the event that you haven't booked that yet, I did hear pretty recently that there are still rooms available, and it's right across from a Whataburger, so that's pretty nice.
That's not too bad.
And then, of course, as we provide every year, there's just a short list of things that you can do while you're in Austin when you're not, at the event partying with us, which, let's be honest, is going to be most of the time. But, we like to give you a little something to do. Why not?
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be great.
I can tell you personally, things are really starting to come together here. We've got things getting printed. We're getting things shipped back to us. And
we're getting boxes every day.
I mean, guys, when have we ever disappointed with the Big Buck World Championship? Let's get real.
Never.
I mean,
That's
every
true.
year we seem to outdo ourselves. So,
true.
2016 is going to be no different.
Absolutely.
One of these years we'll be on the moon.
Yeah,
Really?
probably will.
I think so.
Just litter the moon with Big Buck HDs.
That's not a hint for next year.
Please direct all of your complaints to Callum.
What? Come on. There's no complaints. Anyway, that's some hype up. That's some hype. Let's talk about the TwitchCon.
Before we do,
Before
I
we do.
believe we have a video. This is a brand new video to get everybody hyped up for the World Championship. Let's see that.
Raw Thrills and Play Mechanics would like to invite you to the most exciting arcade gaming tournament of the year. On November 4th and 5th, we're taking the show on the road as the 2016 Big Buck World Championship heads to the party capital of the South, Austin, Texas. Join us at the Belmont on 6th Street and get ready for 2 days of head-to-head competition on the arcade game sensation Big Buck HD Wild. Everything is bigger in Texas, and so are the Bucks. Players will be competing for over $100,000 in cold, hard cash. Once again, the biggest prize pool in Big Buck history. Party like the players by purchasing an all-access VIP pass at bigbuckhd.com/VIP, including food, drinks, and a chance to hang out with the best players in the world. Friday, November 4th at 4 p.m., the doors open for the most epic arcade gaming event of the year. Free entry and free gameplay all night guarantees non-stop entertainment, food, drinks, and fun, leading up to the 6th annual Ladies Tourney, a ladies-only tournament with 32 of the top female players going head-to-head for a top prize of $5,000 and the coveted Jugs of Destiny. Saturday, November 5th, starting at 2 p.m., 64 of the world's best male and female buck hunters face off for a shot at the title, Pappy's Jug, and a record $20,000 in cold, hard cash. Then it's time to keep it weird in Austin. Be on the lookout for refreshing drink specials from Jägermeister, Crystal Creek Moonshine, and Buck Wild Snacks, official sponsors of the 2016 Big Buck World Championship. It's all going down at the Belmont on 6th Street in Austin, Texas. Be sure to watch the action live on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/BigBuckHD. For more details, visit BigBuckHD.com.
Okay. Oh, yeah, brother. I had to get outdone. It just had to be done.
Can you handle it?
Oh, God, Mike.
I don't think so.
I can't handle you. I can't handle you. Oh boy. But of course, awesome video. I saw some things going on in the chat while we were in there, and Jess, I know you commented on this. We will let you guys know about the pre-party with plenty of time.
Yep.
We're working on a couple different little details, all of which make the event that much better and that much sweeter. So just sit tight, guys. I know it's obviously a point of interest for all of you Buck Hunters getting out there early. There will be a pre-party. It will be epic. It will be legendary. But you just got to hold out for just a little bit longer.
Yep. Just nailing down some final details, and then we'll be happy to share it with you.
Now, we're going to do things a little bit differently, and I was kind of queuing it, Mike. Just give me a second here. So we're just going to get this part out of the way before we jump into the next, so Mike and I get into a game of shootout. If you are interested in sponsoring a future episode of Buckin' Around, reach out to us at sponsorship@playmechanics.com. You can make Mike and I do really whatever. It's a great opportunity to get your brand out there, to get a message out there, whatever it may be. But in the meantime, Mike, I just want to get into a game of shootout with you. Jess, I know you don't talk too often on the show. I want to give you a little window here. Why don't you tell all the fine folks about Twitchcon, what we did at Twitchcon, and I'll just chime in whenever I can.
Are you handing over the mic?
Oh, I'm handing the mic.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Here I am.
Gosh.
Oh, different
TwitchCon.
mic.
How do I sum up the amazingness of TwitchCon in a short 30-second thing? It was
Oh, you got way more than 30 seconds, Jess.
Oh, okay. Then it's awesome. Okay, so arrived at TwitchCon. PJ Saltan tournament is this, epic, hilarious tournament they have every year. This was our second annual. It was arcade game themed, so naturally we needed to have Raw Thrills games there. MotoGP and Big Buck HD both took the limelight. Some really crazy characters just playing against each other, knocking each other out. In MotoGP to see who could get to pinball, Walking Dead pinball, and then basically whoever got the highest score in Walking Dead pinball made it to Big Buck HD, which was the highlight of the entire tournament. We even brought out Sarah Erlinson as a surprise guest to basically just wipe the floor.
That sucks. Poor
Wipe
Mike.
the floor completely with these guys. It was
Kinda
so
like what
awesome
happened
to
just now.
see her kind of shine.
Yeah, you guys are
And,
really watching a live replay of what Sarah did to those guys.
Yeah, like if you could just just to be there was amazing. But you can also rewatch it on Twitch. I'm sure it's going to be live soon. But it was a great experience for sure. I think I would say it was a great success for sure.
Now, Jess, was that your first? That was presumably your first TwitchCon?
Oh yeah, so I've never been to TwitchCon before. Honestly, Twitch was really new to me until I got involved with Big Buck Hunter and us streaming our World Championships on Twitch. But to actually be there and see all the different games and all the just super talented gamers there, showing off their talents. There was a lot of different tournaments going on. People winning tons of money for just being really good at these games. I can't name any of them because I don't play any of them, and Big Buck HD is like my number one goalpost. But if Callum were the one talking right now, he'd be able to talk all day.
Callum, do you have some names for us?
What was going on?
My gosh, I'm going out left and right. Yeah, no, it was.
Just in a candy store for Callum for sure.
Oh, no doubt about it. It was great. We obviously went down on I got there on Saturday. Got to get down there, check out, set up our games, and meet the great staff of Twitch that we've been working with to get this event going. And it kind of sucked because we've known about this event for probably about a month and a half before we did it.
Yeah, we couldn't talk about it.
And we couldn't say a word
No,
because it was
couldn't say a
all
word.
secret.
Well,
of course.
and I think one of the best parts of the whole thing was having Sarah and Jared there because obviously this is like way outside of their ballpark. They're used to Big Buck HD, and that's pretty much it. So to see them kind of exploring this whole different world that I don't think any of us really knew existed besides Callum, and just to be exposed to this whole new thing, I think was a lot of fun for them, and it was definitely an experience of a lifetime for them for sure.
Yeah, I had something I was going to say, and the train completely left the station. Yeah, but the event, we couldn't say anything. It was completely secret. And of course, I think the best thing about it was when we got there, we were talking to them. And obviously they were geeking out about the fact that Raw Thrills was there and we had all these great games. And they go, yeah, so we just want you guys to understand, like, the point of this tournament is just to screw with the players. He's like, we want them to look as bad as possible. And that was when we had the
Because
idea to bring.
they're so good at their games that they're really good at. But
So it's a nice little
arcade
reality
games
check.
Are just, so different for them.
And it was great because the Marcus, the DJ Wheat contact, was, yeah. We're just trying to make them look as bad as possible. We want to make them look so stupid. And I'm just like, well, perfect. We've got just the person.
Yep.
But I think we're running long already.
Yep. It's
So
about that time, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's sum up the show. But yeah, I think, Jess, as you said, TwitchCon was a huge success. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys got to check out the live stream, obviously on twitch.tv. If you didn't...
As soon as the PJ Saltan tournament is up, we will be promoting it and posting it, so you'll definitely be able to rewatch if you didn't get to watch.
That's right. But other than that, guys, stay...
Go ahead, Jess.
That's right. We do have one more thing.
One more thing. That's always exciting.
What is it?
I just
What is it, Jess?
to say once again, congrats to Mike.
Thank you very
Get
much.
to show the sleigh.
Oh, thank you.
Engaged man right there. Look at how he's glowing. Look at that.
And
I'm
Mike
a
had
little red in the cheeks right now.
And Mike had no idea that this slate was coming, other than the fact that he made it himself.
He had no idea he was going to be getting engaged. He had no clue. It was all a surprise.
And everything went to plan.
Yeah, everything went exactly according to plan.
I don't know if
It
I
was
can
awesome.
ask this, and I hope Susie's okay with this.
Oh, we're going off
Why don't you
script.
tell everyone about it? What did you do?
Off script.
Can you do that? Is that okay?
Sure. I'm not sure, what amount of interest people have in this.
Give them the short version then.
All right. So on our first date, one of the things that we did was we went geocaching. Some of you may or may not know what this is, but it's basically treasure hunting. There are these caches with logs of, names, people who have found it and on certain dates or whatever, that are hidden all over the world. There's millions of them. And we found a couple of them on our first date, so I figured I would incorporate it into the proposal. So I made a fake geocache with a special little message in it that just said, Susie, Mike has something he needs to ask you. It's been in the works for a long time. So that's basically how it went down. We went to one of our favorite spots up in Michigan, and it couldn't have gone any better.
I know. My heart.
I'm
There
swooning
you go.
inside.
I hope I kept that brief enough and didn't cause anyone to barf. But
Well, I will let you read the responses
all right,
themselves.
yeah.
Everyone seems to be...
Big fat congratulations from everybody.
Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate that. All of you who watch the show week to week, and all of you guys here are like family to me, so I really do appreciate that. I'll stick around and talk in the chat for a little while this evening, and thank you.
Oh,
Thank
love
you
you
once again.
guys.
All right. And to summarize the rest of the show, guys, make sure you catch all of our social media channels down below. It's been a pleasure having you guys here with us on Buckin' Around. Next week, join us. We're going to have another great episode, even more so in 2 weeks, when we might have a secret visitor, but we'll let you guys know about that. Until then, guys, we are Buckin' Around. I'm Callum.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jess.
I'm just too.
Hey.
And you guys have a good night. See you. Have a good one again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
good night.
have a good one again.
Sweet dreams.
See you guys.
Rest well.